The year is 1968. The place, Vietnam, at the height of the conflict. Under the watch of American soldiers in this port city, supplies for the United States Army are unloaded. They will be transported by train to American supply depots, then strategically deployed to the armies in the field. These crates contain the supplies that are the Army's essential support: food, clothing, medicine, munitions, radios, and other communications equipment. Security will be the key to their safe delivery. American soldiers and South Vietnamese soldiers and railroad workers combine their skills to deliver the supplies to the railroad. Trucks transport the supplies to the railroad station, which are then placed in freight cars to begin their journey. Massive forklifts called RTs, rough terrain fork trucks, are used to load thousands of pounds of equipment onto flat cars. A train is made up. It consists of freight cars, flat cars, and oil tankers, pulled by a diesel locomotive. For 100 years of railroads in wartime, armies have depended on the railroad for logistical support. And in all of these wars, railroad soldiers have been on guard against sabotage. What is at stake here isn't simply rations or weapons. What is at stake here is quite simply life or death. There are no luxuries in times of war. This equipment, this fuel, these munitions must reach their destination or lives will be lost. This is guerrilla warfare, and the rules of engagement do not apply. You begin your journey down a dangerous road. Even among these friendly faces, the enemy could be concealed. In the eyes of the enemy, your train must be stopped. You know that your cargo is his target. His mission is to stop you at all costs, even at the cost of your life. Every bridge you approach could disappear out from underneath you, collapsing in a ruin of smoke and fire. Every moment you're on this railroad bridge is a test of your belief in your fellow soldiers, in the men who have guarded this bridge and kept it secure from sabotage. It looks okay if no one let his guard down, if no enemy approached under cover of darkness. It looks okay, but you're riding a potential catastrophe on wheels, a train laden with fuel, which could suddenly become a fireball. It only takes a little while to make it across the bridge, but in your mind it seems like hours. The cars roll on, and now the engine is cleared. Now the oil drums. Now the troops guarding the cargo. People passing by look harmless, but you ask yourself, friend or foe? You keep alert for snipers. You scan the track ahead of you for signs of sabotage, the damage that might derail you, the explosives that might destroy your train and kill your men. Charting your route. Closer to your destination, stay alert. You ride an armored car, but you know that's not enough to protect you. You've seen subversive warfare, and there are horrors in your mind's eye. Your destination is finally in sight. Stay alert. Report your arrival to the guards waiting just ahead with a telegraph powered by a hand crank generator. End of the rail line. Your mission's complete. You want to rest, but you stay on your guard. In war, there's no safe place. And no train is safe from sabotage.
A good place to wreck a train is in a tunnel. Takes time to clean it up, holds up traffic. The trick is to make the shot after your target gets in the tunnel. The mole takes care of that. The mole is a set of photoelectric equipment which, when plunged into sudden darkness, initiates an explosive charge. It consists of a photoelectric cell, the eye of the mole, a relay unit or amplifier, and a special electric detonator. The photo cell, attached by magnets to its target, must be so placed that it can literally see the roadbed. Sensitized by light, this cell builds up an impulse from an accumulation of daylight. And when this light is suddenly removed, as happens when a train goes into a tunnel, the impulse is released and transmitted to the relay unit, where it is amplified into a charge sufficient to detonate the explosive. This electric charge activates the electric detonator, which is inserted in the explosive. Before using the mole, however, a test run was made to find out where to place a charge to get the most complete wreck. Using a four-wheel European-type boxcar, we put about 2 pounds of molded plastic explosive on top of its journal box. You reach the journal box between the pedestal and the wheel. The charge is well hidden there by the pedestal and spring. We put this car on the end of a long train of flat cars, got moving, and for convenience, set the shot off electrically from inside the coach. Watch for the explosion on the left-hand side. We put the charge on the forward wheel of that side. It shattered the wheel all right, but didn't wreck the car. The coupling didn't break, and the car dragged several hundred feet before the train's brakes stopped it. The dragging pedestal damaged the tires. The broken wheel. The other wheel on that axle derailed. The rear wheels stayed on the track. It was decided that we could have done more damage if the coupling at the forward end of the car had broken. It's the standard European turnbuckle coupling with hook and link. To make sure of its breaking in the next run, we taped a pound of plastic explosive to the drawbar and put the knotted end of a primer cord in it. A charge was placed on the pedestal as before, and the other end of the primer cord put in that. The soft metal keepers protecting the magnets of the photocell come off. And to be sure of a good contact for the magnets, it's a good idea to scrape away the paint and rust on the inside of the pedestal. The electric detonator goes into the explosive. The relay unit sits on top of the charge and is fastened down with tape. Pull the arming pin and shove off. The charges are in the forward end of the third boxcar. They were set off by the mole, responding to the darkness of the tunnel. The charges shattered the wheel and parted the coupling, wrecking the train about 125 feet beyond the tunnel. The car carrying the explosive wound up upside down. The 3 cars behind it were completely wrecked. You can see what the drawbar explosion did. It seems apparent then that shattering a forward wheel of one of the cars and parting its coupling will wreck a train of European-type cars. To cut the axle, we used a linear-shaped charge containing 6 pounds of cast 50-50 pentolite. The bracket to hold it is made to clamp to the underside of the center sill of a freight car. The charge is secured in the bracket with 3 set screws. A hole takes the special electric detonator, which normally would connect to a mole. The charge was mounted directly over the axle, with its base about 9 inches above the top of the 5-inch axle. The train for the experiment consisted of locomotive and tender, coach, flats, and 2 gondola cars, all empty. It approached at 25 miles per hour. The charge is under the last car, above the rear axle of the front truck. Watch the beating the rear car takes after the axle is broken. The journals work free of the bearings. The airline severed by the explosion sets the brakes on the whole train. One wheel under the middle of the car tangles with the air brake gear, jacking up the rear truck as the train comes to a halt. The journals of the broken axle came out of these empty boxes. The other wheel is jammed under the middle structure. The center sill where the charge blew. We believe that the wreck would have been even more serious if the disabled car had been followed by a train with a heavy load. With the proper detonators and amplifiers, the mole will activate any type of demolition that can be placed on a train. Its purpose is to cause this kind of a mess in a tunnel.
It is the